Hello everyone and warm welcome here to the Laithwaite Community Stadium for Woking against Barnet. It's been quite a while since Woking were last here. Last time that they played was the game late February against Solihull Moors, which was a really good performance on the evening. It was a tightly fought 1-0 victory. So it's been a fair few games on the road since. Again, draws against Forest Green, going through just about the FA Trophy against Oxford, and again the draws against Southend and Boss as well. So certainly draws something that Woking have had a lot recently. But as for Barnet, they've just simply been flying at the top of the league, sitting 11 points clear of York. We're actually the last team to beat them in the league, which is all the way back in October. Let's talk you through lineups then, starting with Woking. So the one change has been made. Dan Moss finally back in the lineup after his out injury the fair few months. Been eased his way back in off the bench. He's in for Jermaine Ansah. Initially thought it might be back three for Woking today, but looking at the way they warmed up, it seems to be it will be a back four. So Will Jaskalainen will be in goal. It will be Dion Kelly-Evans at right back. And in the centre you'll have Dan Moss and Chinwike Okoli, Adam Chickson on the left side of defence. As for the midfield, looks to be Harry Beatsman on left and Den Lewis on the right. Midfield three of Tunji Akinola, Del Gorman and Jamie Andrews, with Ini Effiong leading the line. Barnet in goal for them is number 13 Owen Evans, and now on to the alpha lineup with 4 Danny Collins, 8 Reece Brown, 9 Liam Lovu, with 10 Callum Steadham, 11 Idris Kanu, number 15 Ryan Glover, 18 skipper Anthony Artigan, number 21 Billy Clifford, 25 Nick Tavares, number 26 Miles Kenlock. As for Woking substitute bench is Ollie Webber, Jacob Jones, Lewis Walker, Junior Moraes, Jermaine Anderson, Rowan Ince and Frank Vincent. Rowan Ince certainly a name which again hasn't been on the bench too often for the Cards. And as for Barnet, their benches, goalkeeper Joe Bellagambi, Ben Coker, Harry Chapman, Dom Telford, Zach Brunt, who certainly loved scoring a cracker against Woking last season, Joe Grimwood and Jordan Cropper. Man alongside me today in the press box is John Moore. John, hopefully Woking can get another win here at the Laithwaite Community Stadium.
Well, it's a big ask, isn't it? I mean, Barnet are absolutely flying, and barring a collapse of Devon Lock proportions, are going to win this league at a canter. And fair play to them. You know, they're very impressive. They score lots of goals. They play football the right way. And it's going to be a really difficult afternoon. Having said that, Woking have nothing to lose in the sense that they're not the favourites. And, you know, you never know. You never know.
That's very true, and actually it will be exactly a year tomorrow when Woking beat Barnet last season by goal two, which is a huge win in Woking season. We're underway here at the Laithwaite Community Stadium in the sunshine for Woking against Barnet, and straight away Dan Moss searching for that long ball towards Beatsman, easily cut out there by Clifford. Flip back now from Glover, hit towards halfway, and Reece Brown, of course, joined Barnet from Woking, turned away from Moss, two collided. It looks to be a decision given in the favour of Woking.
Just a word about the pitch. Dean Brannan was spoken to beforehand, and he wasn't that impressed really. Apparently the pitch is absolutely rock hard, which you wouldn't think when you looked at it, but it's worth bearing in mind, even though the sun is shining today.
Yes, certainly Neil Arley's made his feelings known as well on the pitch. Also, it's a free kick here for Woking, just in front of halfway, inside right for Dale Gorman to deliver. Can Woking strike early here? So Gorman just in front halfway, left arm raised, all set to take it. Gorman in swing delivery, which the Barnet deal with easily, although just bounces away from Reece Brown, and he was attempting to try and keep in play for a split second. So throw for Woking stake in front of the Barnet dugout, where Dean Brennan dishing out his instructions. Good header away there by Ryan Glover from Dion Kelly-Evans' throw. So another throw now for the Cards, a change of throw and taker. Jamie Andrews this time. Imagine this one will be sent in a little longer, minute half on the clock here. Woking about to take a throw on the right hand side. Jamie Andrews just giving the ball very quickly. Sets himself now. Let's see what he can do from this. So Andrews launches it in right towards the 6-yard box. Barnet head up into the air. Gorman trying to get to it. And the forward Barnet man can't quite get it down. It's hooked backwards and drops to Lewis outside the box. Lewis strikes low and straight at Owen Evans, but early strike there for It's Woking and quickly thrown out now to Glover. Gorman attempts to challenge, but Glover skips past him. Effiong's tracking back. Good challenge there for Dan Moss, which the Woking fans certainly enjoy. And Effiong pokes over halfway, just a little bit too far on the outside. Buteman, and now Collins goes direct towards Enlovu. Good header down from Okoli. Andrews now sends it back. Looks like actually Akinola is in that back line. Didn't see him training with it in the warm-up. Maybe that was the throw. Barnett off. Jääskeläinen goes long. And that header's gone out of play for a Woking throw by the head of Idris Kanu.
And players to keep an eye on. First of all, Ryan Glover operating down Barnett's left. Many might remember him from his days at Aldershot, but he is an exciting player. He gets up and down, and he scores goals too. And of course, there's also Kanu, who I think is an excellent player.
Clifford sends up towards Enlovu. Headed down there from Dan Moss. Now slammed up into the air from Akinola. Ball looping towards halfway. Headed down from Tavares. Drops to Gorman in the centre of the Woking half. Plays that cross Brown. Kelly Evans taking a few steps back before he lightly knocks it inside to Moss. Plays it just in front of him to Gorman. Cross to Kelly Evans. Clips it back to Moss. Barnett pressing. Moss being charged down by Brown. Cleared away. Intercept there from Clifford, but drops to Moss. Good pressing this from Barnett. Woking trying to play the way out of it. Then it's Kelly Evans plays it back to Moss to go long. Heavy touch there from Kenlock, but just about gets the pass in the centre. Good cut out there from Andrews. Kelly Evans back towards Andrews, getting a few touches here. Jamie Andrews nice and elegant on the ball, holding off Clifford. In fact, the referees actually awarded a free kick there to Woking. Clifford just had a little bit of a nibble at Jamie Andrews' right heel, and Dan Moss is going to walk away from this free kick. Will it be Okoli to take it? It will be Okoli. So Okoli has Andrews as the short option, and Andrews now receives it. Back here to Chinwike Okoli. Okoli drills it right footed down the inside right channel. Buteman's chasing it. Still chasing down Tavares. Ball now just rolls out of play. Good defending there from Tavares. Read the run of Buteman and fended him off very, very easily there. Just over 4 minutes gone at the Laythwaite Community Stadium. Seen Woking and Barnet. Denton Lewis had a very early effort. Struck on the volley straight at the keeper. So,
have you worked out the Woking formation yet? Because I'm thinking, is it a 3? Is it a 4?
I'm still wondering. I think it looks to be a back 3 to me at the moment, the way it's shaped. It's long from Evans towards Brown. Head away from Moss. Flip backwards in the centre circle from Clifford. Cleared away from Tavares on as far as Gorman. Gorman lifts it out to the right. Then Lewis now trying to get on the outside of his man. Still Lewis against Kenlock. Lewis keeps it in play. A light cross into the box though, easily controlled there. Beautiful. That was really nice skill there to clear it away through Hartigan. Just wrong foot to Harry Buteman. Silky feet. Clear it towards halfway and Moss sends it back to Jääskeläinen. Here's Chinwike Okoli. Gorman receives it in between Akinola and Okoli. Lays it back to Jääskeläinen. 5 minutes on the clock. Woking 0, Barnet 0. Akinola being chased down here by Stead and a bit off balance there. Tonji Akinola seems to be playing left side the back line at the moment. Akinola a bit awkward trying to clear that one, and that is a throw for Barnet to take.
Yes, it certainly does look like a back 3, doesn't it, with Chickson and Kelly Evans being the wing backs.
Throw taken from Kanu, headed away. Now Hartigan down the right hand side, clear from Akinola. Couldn't be controlled properly from Chickson. Now here come Barnet, surging forwards in the spot. Kanu locks it to Enlovu. Enlovu shot, well blocked there from Chinwike Okoli. And that was really good work there from Barnet. Idris Kanu drove into the box, set up for Enlovu. A good block there from Chinwike Okoli in Barnet's first attack of the match. Corner on the right hand side for the visitors. And that was a really good defending from Chinwike Okoli. But again, have those real pacey threats and side Barnet. Okay, do not want Idris Kanu running at you. So corner to be delivered from the right hand side. Comes in for Hartigan. Cleared away at the near post there by Okoli, and then it's a flip backwards there from Kanu, and the referee hasn't awarded a free kick to Barnet. Again, there were appeals. Kanu thought he was pushed by Chickson.
Needless to say, Dean Brennan isn't best pleased with that decision. I don't blame him either. To me, it did look like a push.
Yeah, I must say, I'm surprised that one wasn't given. Akinola to Andrews, intercepted there by Stead, but just drops into the feet of Okoli. Turns away from Enlovu. Now long from Akinola, looking for Lewis over the top. And that easily just goes back to Evans in his purple kit. Now thrown to Glover. Hit towards Glover. Chested down for Brown. Glover trying to keep it in play. Swings the ball in the turn, but I think that ball had already gone out before Glover made any contact at all.
Devon Lewis at the moment, having very much a role up top alongside Effiong, and having a role really where he can play across the back line. He's over on the left, he's in the middle, he's over on the right.
Hook down the left hand side instead. Cody gets there first for Nlovu. And Brown just about stretches over the advertising audience and gets the ball and gives it to Glover to take the throw of midway inside the Woking half. So Glover now looking at his best options. I think he will go long yet, just giving the ball quick, clean Glover before he throws this one into the area. Good header away there from Okoli. Conley gets onto it, hooks it forwards. Look on there from Collins. Now is Stead out the right hand side. Just trying to turn away from Akinola. Stead needs a bit of support. Stead now back to Collins. Collins balling, headed away from his opposite number, Okoli. Only as far as Hartigan. Woking pin back for the time being, just over 8 minutes on the clock. Woking 0, Barnet 0. Stead delivers from the right hand side. Okoli flicks it across the face, goal, headed down to the ground and saved there by Will Jääskeläinen. It was Glover who met it at the back post. Okoli couldn't quite head that the way he wanted to. It fell to Glover. Reacted quickly, but didn't get the power he wanted on the header. Pretty simple for Jääskeläinen in the end. Still Woking 0, Barnet 0. And now roll from Jääskeläinen to Akinola. Infield to Gorman. First time pass back to Jääskeläinen. Again, square to Tunji Akinola. Akinola drills it low towards halfway, cut out from Hartigan. Square here for Kanu. Nice feet from Kanu. Now looks on his outside to Stead, down the line for Kanu. Chickson keeping pace with him. Kanu trying to get the outside. Chickson just carries it out of play in the end. Kanu. Oh, good idea to try and look on the outside. Just got that touch with his right foot wrong.
I was mentioning, wasn't I, about the runs of Ryan Glover, and that was a case in point really. Arguably he should have done a bit better with the header. Kind of headed it down and it took a lot of the pace off the ball. But as I say, Woking need to keep an eye out for him because he is such a dangerous player.
Yeah, most certainly. Again, really good movement in at the back post. And as John was saying, just couldn't quite get the header he wanted. Goes short from Jääskeläinen from the goal, gets Akinola, flip backwards and Hartigan. Header up into the air. And need away by Kenlock. Kept in play from Kanu, midway inside this half. Looks in field. First time low ball from Hartigan, just travels over halfway. And Nlovu tried to get the flick on, just bounced away from him. Just crouching low to try and get that flick on towards someone down the inside right. It's back now with Jääskeläinen. Searching towards Lewis. That wasn't the greatest kick there from Will Jääskeläinen. Sailed well over there to Dion Kelly Evans. 10 minutes on the clock here at Layfake Community Stadium. Barnet probably shaded it, but Woking competed well so far. Woking 0, Barnet 0. Glover, the short throw to Clifford. Glover now back inside. Clifford just behind into Kenlock. Kenlock with his left foot down the line. Headed away from Moss. Chested down for Gorman. Back to Moss. Moss to Gorman again. Gorman first time behind him to Coley. Coley picks out Andrews. Well, I thought he did. Just rolled away from Andrews' right foot. First time for Kanu. Stead midway inside the Woking half. Good tackle there from Gorman. Andrews now tries to find Beatsman, but he's surrounded now. It's been intercepted from Hartigan. Square to Glover's. Barnet approaching the box. Glover now onto his left foot. Glover low ball and not a lot of power and easily cut out there from Andrews. Plays it short to Beatsman. Now Beatsman whips it down the right hand side for Effiong to chase as it got away from Lewis. Effiong now chasing down Tavares. Tavares back to Evans. Now Lewis approaching Evans. Evans has to quickly lift out of his area. Control from Kenlock. Woking trying to press high, but Barnet now bit of time on the ball. Hartigan, they played their way out the press brilliantly. Now Barnet can look to come forward here. Collins just on halfway. Square for the skip Hartigan. Back on his outside to Collins. Again returns it to Hartigan. 35 yards on goal. Stead. Back to Hartigan. Just miscontrolled it though. Bounced off his right knee. Beatsman to Akinola. Andrews being pressed on the far side by Collins. Andrews again goes for a long left footed ball. Effiong's not giving it up. Evans just judging where the ball's going to go and just run for Akinola. Nice feet there from Owen Evans. Now direct down the right hand side. Akinola wins the aerial duel. Heads it down for Andrews, who helps it on. Only as far as a send circle where it's been controlled there by Clifford. Now Clifford square to Kenlock. Kenlock just over halfway. Kenlock now trying to drive down left hand side. Cuts inside Lewis. Still putting the pressure on Den Lewis. Kenlock goes towards the send circle to Hartigan. Takes it on the turn and goes back to Tavares. Shifts it onto his right foot. Again, drags it with his right, looking for the short option of Collins. Now Danny Collins down the right hand side, can't pick out Hartigan. Good interception effort. Akinola goes back and gives it to Enlovu. Enlovu right inside the box, tight angle, got his touch wrong anyway. And Jääskeläinen gets down to it. That was a bit of a scary moment there, John.
It was. Woking was slightly fortunate. You know, Akinola, he didn't look when he played the ball back.
Yeah, that was really poor there from Tunji Akinola. Stankflat and Enlovu had a bit of a tight angle, got his first touch wrong anyway. Speaking of Akinola, now on the ball. Towards halfway, good cut out there from College. On as far as Gorman. Pokes it to Andrews. Now Coley in plenty of space. So Coley now. Body check towards the right hand side. Plays it off to Moss on halfway. Moss. One touch his right foot. Not the greatest touches, and that just gave the chance for Reece Brown to steam in there and clear out for a throw for Woking. Don't think it's a deflection yet. It has been given as a Woking throw. Dan Moss just waiting to receive the ball. Yeah, certainly Tunji Akinola can't be making passes like that, especially against the side of the quality Barnet. Throw from Moss. Gorman on halfway, turns back in his half and pass it to Okoli. Again to Gorman, turns away from Brown. Gorman's pass cleared forwards from Tavares, out to the right hand side. Akinola gets there for Enlovu. Akinola just about finds Chickson. It's it backwards, skims off the top of Stead's head, does find Andrews. Now Gorman, time and space, plays it to his right. Gorman wants it back off Moss, and Moss returns it. Guides it the outside of his right foot. And now Gorman, search for Kelly Evans too far in front of him. Cut out from Kenlock. Now Kenlock. Ken goes long. Ball bouncing it, and Okoli gets there before Stead. And now Buteman, touch it back to Gorman on the stretch, gives it to Andrews. Andrews in the centre circle. Andrews now just behind halfway. In the communication with Chicks, and Andrews doesn't opt to go forwards. Chickson tightly marked from Kanu, and Andrews has to go back, and he turns away frustration. Jamie Andrews. There's Akinola to Jääskeläinen. Again, Akinola. Andrews receiving it, facing his own goal, and again uses the goalkeeper in the link up from the back. That's a nice pass from Coley to find Gorman, but Brown wins a sliding challenge just behind halfway, and the referee's given a free kick to Barnet. The referee, James Durkin, just felt that Gorman actually caught Brown when sliding towards him.
I think it's right, isn't it, that really ideally he wants to get a booking today if he's going to stand any chance of them being able to play in the semi-final against Aldershot. Any further bookings later on, he'll be out of that game, so don't be surprised if he picks up a yellow card somehow.
To be honest, again, it is, you want to stay professional, but I think it will be in the back of his mind that's obviously going to be one of probably the biggest Woking game he'd play when that happens against Aldershot, and again he'd be desperate to be involved in that one. And Barnet player just receiving we've got a bit of a break in play. I've heard from Mark Francis in Riyadh. Gosh, all right for some, isn't it? Anyway, Mark, hope you're well. Hope you're enjoying life. We're not envious at all. It's freezing here. But just a big shout out to your old man Andy, who has just turned 60. Gosh, I remember that. Anyway, joking apart, many happy returns, Andy. Maybe I'll see you on the KRE when I trot round at half time, but all the best. Yeah, happy birthday to Andy, and just the time now for Neil Lally just to get some instructions to his players. Again, I think it'd be okay what you've seen so far in the first quarter, an hour. Again, Barnet are a top side, they are going to dominate the ball more, and Woking look to try and get on the counter-attack, but so far direct balls forward, it just hasn't really stuck to Effiong Lewis so far. They've just been chasing long balls forward, so I think Neil Lally probably want a little bit more flow in the play at times, but Woking going to have to defend a bit against a top quality side like Barnet.
Yeah, but I think Woking have been very competitive. You can't really tell which side is running away with the league, and yes, of course you'd like a little bit more of an attacking threat from Woking, but there's still plenty of time. But I think at the moment they've matched them, they've gone stride for stride with them. They just have to watch moments of carelessness, they have to watch moments when they switch off. I've already said that Ryan Glover is someone who they really must watch out for, and then of course there's Kanu on the other flank. They're a side, what I admire about Dean Brennan is the fact that he can put a side together, he can motivate them. They also sell players, it doesn't seem to affect them. If you think they sold Nicky Kabamba to Bromley earlier in the season.
So ball hit towards Enlovu now, drops towards Stead, and in the end Akinola gets across, and don't think it came from last. No, it didn't. It will be a goal kick to Woking, and that long free kick just caused a few problems there with that flick on, but Yeah, thankfully, from a Woking perspective, nothing came of it in the end. Short from Jääskeläinen to Akinola. Lays off to his left, flicked from Andrews, now volleys it. Just over halfway, search for Effiong. Effiong battling with Collins. Collins wins that one, though Woking fans thought it was a foul. Cleared there by Tavares, back on the pitch now after he went down a moment ago. Well, Gorman just looked like he was caught, and Gorman hits it outside of his right foot to give it to Moss. Woking just front halfway. Gorman still down here, Lewis. Back to Okoli. And Gorman just trying to get back to his feet. But yeah, just clipped as he made that pass to the outside of his right to Dan Moss. Referee just telling the Woking medical team stay put. Gorman's now back on his feet, thankfully. So, yeah, referee will be given, I imagine, a little bit of a warning for that clip, and now drop ball by the looks of it for Woking.
I don't think the referee's spoken to anyone at all.
Actually, I thought he was coming across to give it a bit of a warning for that clip on Gorman, but hasn't. Yeah, as you said, John hasn't really spoken to everyone. So drop ball for Woking. Whip from Gorman down the right hand side. Lewis trying to hold it up. Lewis by the corner flag, backing into his man, plays it back to Buteman. Buteman turns, tries to pass that to Moss behind him, but good cut out there from Reece Brown. But throw here for Woking on the right hand side. But as you said, John, I think Woking have been competitive so far. Just over 18 minutes on the clock here at the Layford Community Stadium, and throw here for Jamie Andrews to take. Let's see if Woking can cause any problems from this. Andrews now just waiting for the all clear. Now Andrews again right into the centre. Flicked on from Okoli, headed away, Gorman chased it down. Now cleared further from Stead. Was there a pull there from Gorman? The referee thought so, and Barnet players surrounding the referee. They feel that Gorman, they might be appealing for a red card for Gorman. I'm not sure it was.
Certainly a yellow card. He's got a yellow card out, so this could be the one.
Yep, you called it, John, again. It's no surprise at all, really, especially Dale Gorman. Just like picking up a yellow cards course in general. That's why, obviously, running the risk of a suspension. It's a yellow card in the referee's hand, and Gorman probably felt, though, had to make that one. Instead, trying to get away. So a yellow card for Dale Gorman. It'll be the first of the match. Just give you some later scores in the National League with goals. Braintree 0, Boston 1, of course, got that late draw against Woking last weekend. Gateshead 0, Maidenhead 1, Sutton 0, Halifax 1, Wealdstone 0, Eastleigh 1, and all the other games in the National League are goalless at this time. Just approaching the 20th minute here at the Layford Community Stadium. Woking 0, Barnet 0. Barnet have had a few dangerous moments going forwards, but Woking have defended pretty well so far. Den Lewis with the volley in the first minute and a half for Woking set piece. That's the closest Woking have come so far. It was a pretty easy save for Owen Evans from the volley. This is Dale Gorman now in the referee's notebook, and Owen Evans can take the resulting free kick diagonally towards the left. Header met there by Dion Kelly Evans for a Barnet throw. Glover to take this one in the attacking third. Harry Buteman just making sure everyone's in their right places. So Glover now, is he going to go short or long? I do imagine he'll go for the long throw into the box. He does indeed. Good powerful header there from Okoli. That does bounce out for a throw to Barnet. Again, Woking have a man down there. I think that's Dale Gorman, who's just getting back up now to his feet. So corner kick on the left hand side for Barnet. Anthony Hartigan to take it. Again, Barnet just been sensational this season. 11 points clear. Again, York the last team to beat them in the league. Rather team sitting in second place at the moment. So corner in from the left hand side for Hartigan. Bounces towards the back post. Good save there from Jääskeläinen. And it did take a nick. I think it may have been off Collins or Brown. Both flinging themselves towards the wall. Took a knock off a Barnet man, and Jääskeläinen to scupper down to his left hand side to Just missed head there of Andrews. Coley battling for the ball. Play back some Ndlovu. Header there from Clifford. Now control from Okoli. Clears all the way up to Lewis. Head away from Tavares in the centre circle with Kanu. Back now to College. College whips it with his right foot, searching for the run of Stead. Picks him out. Stead trying to turn as Andrews and Akinola around him. Stead by the corner flag. Still keeps hold of it and hits it off Akinola for a throw to Barnett. Defending there by Woking, again quickly doubled up on Callum Stead.
Barnett, beginning to get into their stride, beginning to find some rhythm out there, and Woking really got to hang on here, not concede.
Yeah, I think that game where Woking beat Barnet last season, they were just disciplined that first half and gradually grew into it. Looking for a similar performance here today. And long throw in, Okoli missed it, drops it to Collins in the middle, hits it down to the ground, not a lot of power, and pretty simple there for Wool Jääskeläinen. It's an overarm throw for Jääskeläinen, controlled there from Kelly Evans. So it's back to Moss. Moss now turns, Kelly Evans asking for it. Good pressing there from Brown. Now Kelly Evans back to Okoli. Tries to turn away from Ndlovu, just runs away from Okoli. And that will be a corner kick. And again, John, Woking just look very uncomfortable playing out from the back at the moment.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong sometimes with putting your foot through the ball. Why are you trying to play out from the back when you've got players up tight against you? Forced into an error and now conceded a corner. I don't know what Kelly Evans was doing.
So here's Hardsgan to take the corner from the left hand side again. Here's a risk and reward style, trying to play out for the back. So 25 minutes played in the first half. Woking 0, Barnet 0, but Woking on the back foot at the moment. Hardsgan delivers, headed away there by Dion Kelly Evans at the near post. Andrews not getting on the chase, but just gets away from him in the end, and that will be a throw for Barnet on the far side. Again, I think Nalai just wanting his team just to keep their cool a little bit more when trying to play from the back, but a very tough task against the side of Barnet's quality. So Ryan Glover to take the throw shortly for Barnet. Referee just in conversation here with Reece Brown. I think that's Dan Moss just by him as well. It is indeed Moss tightly marking Brown as Barnet now preparing the long throw. Throw comes in there from Glover. Miscontrolled there from Brown, but drops on the edge of the box for Clifford. Lifts it back out to Glover, facing up Kelly Evans. Glover onto his right foot, ball towards the near post, headed away. Drops to the centre, smashed in from Reece Brown, of course, on his former stomping ground. Schuster fans for a little second, then celebrates with his teammates. And you have to say, the goal for league leaders has been coming. Woking couldn't quite clear the lines properly. It dropped onto the right foot of Reece Brown, just thumped it through a sea of bodies, left Wool Jääskeläinen stranded and rooted to the spot. Took Barnet a goal in front. 27 minutes played, Woking 0, Barnet 1.
Yeah, no surprise really. Woking have been under a lot of pressure last 5 or 10 minutes, not really cleared their lines, and I'm afraid a goal was inevitable, and of course it would be the law of the X. That man Brown, it was a great finish, he didn't mess around. Fantastic.
Woking have just got to try and galvanise here. Harry Booton to get the Cards back underway. But it was a brilliant finish there from Reece Brown. Again, Jääskeläinen went through a fair few bodies. Didn't sit until it really flew low into the back of net. And Booton gets us back underway now. Here's Andrews to Akinola. Along with his left foot. Clear from College. There was a push there on Billy Clifford by Chickson, so free kick to Barnet, and again they deserve to be in front here. And Woking have just got to try and adjust themselves and make sure the game doesn't completely get away from them. Short free kick to Kanu. Here's Collins. Short ball on the inside right. Stead the other shot ball from Andrews, where he plays it back to Kanu. Clever forwards held up here from Stead. Again, Barnet midway inside the Woking half. Kanu now just leaves it, and now it's played across to Kenlock. Here is Glover cutting inside, good tackle there from Kelly Evans. Gorman now looks to try and set away Lewis. Woking on the attack. Lewis right hand side of the box. Lewis, can he get the right low ball in? Lewis is crosses blocked from Kenlock, and that was a really good opportunity for Woking to respond. but Lewis didn't get the cross in he wanted. Easy block for Kenlock in the end.
Yeah, it was crying out for a quality ball, and I'm afraid, Denon Lewis didn't deliver. It's perhaps in his defence that the pitch isn't the easiest to play on. It is incredibly bobbly out there, but it was really an opportunity.
Well, certainly again, had Effiong busting the gut, getting in the box onside him. So Dale Gorman to take this corner from the right hand side. Will be an outswing. Gorman's delivery easily headed away there by Kenlock, and Gorman again receives it right on the byline. Gorman's delivery, head out the box, and Glover falls here to Andrews, short and square to Lewis. Lewis just about skips over the challenge there of Hartigan, cuts inside Lewis. Lewis now puts it through legs of Brown, but gives it away to Kanu. Was he pushed there from Kelly Evans? He was, and the referee had a good view of that. Gave a free kick immediately, and again that Woking pressure comes to them, but a little bit more like it from the Cards, trying to muster up a response. Just give the latest scores in the National League at the moment. Altrincham 0, Aldershot 0, Braintree 0, Boston 1, Dagenham 1, Tamworth 0, Fleet 0, Fylde 0, Forest Green 1, Southend 1, Gateshead 0, Maidenhead 1, Halifax now 2-0 up at Sutton, Wealdstone 0, Eastleigh 1, Yeovil 0, York 0 here at the Layford Community Stadium. Woking 0, Barnet 1. The earlier score as well was Oldham 1, Rochdale 1. Free kick from Barnet, flicked on from Brown, head away from Akinola, headed forward St Clifford towards the left. Now Glover on the bounce over the top of Kelly Evans' head. No one making a run though down the inside left, and that just comfortably bounced out for a Woking goal kick. Half hour played at Layford Community Stadium. Reece Brown netting against his former club to put Barnet a goal up. Okoli, his long ball just falls to Kanu by the centre circle. Idris Kanu cuts in, changes passes with Clifford. Now Kanu square for Kenlock, short ball down the left for Brown to hold up. Brown backing into Moss. Now as the ball pinched away from Buteman, tries to play it forwards with a quick tackle there by Clifford. Did well there Clifford as Buteman was about to play it forward. So Woking do get the throw. Neil Lally just conversation with Dale Gorman. So Dan Moss to take the throw just behind halfway line. And Moss changes passes with Gorman, that Clifford just intercepted and just knocked into Moss at the same time. So another throw here for Woking to take, still just behind halfway. Dan Moss down the right hand side. Header one there by Glover. Ball bouncing. Kelly Evans heads it in field. Hooked on from Beatman. Header one by Tavares. Stead, nice turn away from Andrews. Now hit the outside of Hartigan's right foot, and Okoli just stretches his right leg out to intercept. And then that's good work there from Lovely just to get his body across, as Okoli was trying to adjust his feet to hit it forwards, and then Lovely lets it go out for a throw about midway inside the Woking half. Again, Ryan Glover probably looked to take this one long. Nalali just making sure that Jamie Andrews stood in the right place. Glover goes down the left hand side though. Brown traps it on his chest. Kelly Evans wins it back now for Woking. Long for Kelly Evans. Can't find Effiong. Header one there by Tavares. Now Effiong nudges Kenlock off the ball. Plays it forwards towards the run of Den Lewis down the right hand side. Collins across. Collins goes down. No free kick given. Lewis now turns in the box, and now the free kick is given, to the fury of the Woking supporters.
Well, I must say I thought it was a free kick. I was amazed the linesman didn't flag, and I think the referee was right. I know Woking fans are irritated and blah blah blah, but to me it was the right decision.
Yeah, I'd have to say I agree there, John. Again, Den Lewis, I think, was a little bit over aggressive trying to win that ball back. Understandably, the fans are feeling a bit frustrated at the moment, and anything that goes against him, especially Lewis ran into the box in a really good position. Not the first time he's been in the box in a really good position the last few minutes. Again, couldn't make the most out of a Woking attack shortly after Brown scored, and Lewis's delivery though was easily blocked by Kenlock at that time. So Evans with the free kick, header met by Akinola, and a forward to Clifford, faint flick off instead. Now Okoli up with his left foot for Effiong to chase down the inside left, and Collins judges the bounce well. Poor touch there for Kanu. Clipped forwards from Chickson, trying to run onto it. Beatsman now trying to get onto the ball, does win the header and the bounce against Collins, but calmly played back from Hartigan for Evans to clear. Good cut out there from Andrews as he's trying to push up by. Now Clifford back to Evans. Lewis chasing down. Lewis just had his path blocked off from Kenlock. Good work there from Kenlock, I have to say. Evans goes long, header won by Moss. Now Gorman heads it back towards Moss, and Stead quickly hits it forwards. Did Moss catch him? Stead hobbling a bit. No free kick given though. It's back here with Will Jaskalainen. Now Jaskalainen just wondering where to go to. Keeps feinting to roll it out, but can just tell his team to push up here. Yeah, I think Woking just need to change tact a bit and try and go direct from these goal kicks towards Effiong. Effiong beaten in the air by Tavares. And now ball hit towards and loved by Hartigan. Good cut out there from Akinola. Andrews gets onto it. Andrews down left too far in front of Chickson. Chickson not giving up the chase though. In the end, Collins had that one covered and then told his goalkeeper just to come and claim it. Barnett sitting comfortably at the moment on a 1-goal lead through Reece Brown. Evans ball forwards, controlled by Okoli, and the heads it well as far as Brown. He try and get his and Barnett second edge of the box here. Square for Glover. Now Glover trying to get onto his left foot. Glover pass towards Brown. Brown shot back from Okoli. Stead on the turn. Stead shot. Brilliant save there from Jaskalainen. How massive could that be? And then Kelly Evans, his clearance blocked from Glover. Pressure not over yet. Infield from Clifford to Glover. Holding off Kelly Evans. Just behind him to Hartigan. Back out to the left hand side, Clifford. Down line here for Kenlock. Sliding challenge there from Dan Moss, and that will be a corner kick to Barnett. Brilliant save for Jaskalainen a moment ago.
Yeah, it was, but at the moment, you know, Woking are being taken apart by Barnet. They really are. Every time they attack, they look dangerous, and I do think Neil Ardley needs to change it. I don't think playing three at the back is really working. We need more bodies, really. I think possibly in the middle of the park. We're being outplayed, outfought. Yes, I know they're the league leaders, but we're not putting or posing any attacking threat at all. You know, Effiong, just an isolated figure.
Corner in from Hartigan, bounce off Effiong, still bouncing the box in. Glover now out to the right hand side to Clifford. Glover in space behind Clifford, wants it back, but Clifford short forward pass to Stead. Stead now goes for the option of Clifford, and Gorman just intercepts there.
I mean, you know, essentially we're playing sort of five at the back. Chickson again is somebody who's a peripheral figure, really. We need more bodies in the middle of the park.
Yeah, midfield struggling at the moment. So again, Glover to take a long throw in, just under 10 minutes to go in this first half at Layfake Community Stadium. Stead puts in a long throw, headed away by Coley. Flicked on from Beatsman. Now squared her there from Clifford. Glover knocks out outside of his right for Brown's hold up. Back here to Clifford. And now to Glover. Glover cutting inside. That's a back your left, and Tavares trying to find Glover. Cleared out the box from Kelly Evans. Volleyed from Kenlock. And Jaskalainen comes and claims well. And Love, who just gave that one up, knew Jaskalainen was going to get there. Now ball over top from Jaskalainen for Lewis to chase, gets his opposite number, Idris Kanu, but Kanu gets his body in between man and the ball and sees off Lewis and gets Barnett a goal kick.
At the minute, if Woking can keep it to just one at half time, you feel they'll have done well. Really, yeah, the last 15 minutes or so, it's really been one-way traffic. Woking having isolated breaks, but they are isolated, and they're not getting up to support. As I say, Effiong is a peripheral figure. There's no one near him when the ball, if it goes near him, he's barely touched it. And I think really some changes need to be made, certainly at half time.
Evans with the goal kick, and that was too far away from Glover there. Just it bounced off Glover when he's already out of play. Good work there from Kelly Evans, just holding him off to make sure he can get to it. So Moss throw down the right hand side. Header goes backwards in Kenlock. And header one from Barnett through Collins. Now Gorman down the right hand side with another header, but in the end no one making that run in red and white. So again, just comfortable for Barnett. And it is only 1-0, but they're sitting very comfortably on this 1-0 lead at the moment. Later scores in National League: Ultra 0, Aldershot 0, Braintree 0, Boston 1, Dagenham 1, Tamworth 0, Ebbsfleet 0, Fylde 0, Forest Green 2, Southend 1, Gateshead 0, Mainhead 1, Sutton 0, Halifax 2. Same scoreline, Eastleigh's favour at Wealdstone, Yeovil 0, York 0. Here at the Layfake Community Stadium, Woking 0, Barnet 1. 38 minutes played. The earliest score was Oldham 1, Rochdale 1. Okoli heads away the goal kick. Chester back from Buteman. Lifted up from Andrews. Header one comfortably there by Tavares. And Header from Akinola. Just goes out of play for a throw for Barnet. And Effiong just looking a very isolated figure up top for Woking. Same with Dan Lewis, really, just chasing shallows at the moment.
Well, at least Lewis has had some involvement. Effiong hasn't. He's done nothing. I mean, I'm not blaming him. It's just he hasn't been given any service.
Yeah, big half-time team talk for Neil Arley coming off. It would just stay like this going into half-time. Head away from Moss. From the throw now, Andrews draws it low, intercepted on halfway. There by Collins. Here's Kanu. Kanu down the right for Stead to chase. That's the pace against Akinola, but a bit too far in front of Stead. Tried to prevent it from going for a goal kick. Couldn't do so in the end. Did get a bit of contact with his left foot there. Stead sliding towards the ball, but it wasn't enough to prevent it from going out for a Woking goal kick. There's not really been any massive chances of note in this first half. Woking, they've had a couple of moments, but then Lewis did a volley, which is comfortably saved by the goalkeeper, and Lewis got in a good position to put a good cross, and that was plot from Kenlock. So goal kick from Yaskline, and can Woking find leveller before half time? Tavares' header finds a Lovu, who turns in the centre circle now, and Lovu surrounded by three wearing white shirts, and good comfortable tackle there from Moss, and now Buteman skips over Chandler Clifford. Now Buteman down the right hand side. Buteman trying to find Lewis to release, plays it short to Lewis. Just stop this run as he was off. Lewis turns, finds Kelly Evans in the end. Kelly Evans just beaten to the ball by Clifford, and Clifford turns and clears out for a Woking throw on the right hand side. Again, any of the long throws that Woking have put in so far, Barnet have dealt with them pretty comfortably. Can they cause problems from this one? 5 minutes to go in this first half here of the Laythwaite Community Stadium. Woking 0, league leaders Barnet 1. A former Cardinal, Reece Brown, his goal separating the sides. Andrews with a throw, headed away by Collins, flicked further out the box there from Clifford, and Lewis goes back in his own after Chickson, and plenty of room in the centre. Again, Chickson now sets his sights and going long. Takes another touch now into the centre circle. Chickson goes to the diagonal, ball towards Andrews, header one there from Glover. Too far for Brown's chase, so that's a throw for Woking just by the Barnet dugout for Dion Kelly Evans to take. Again, I think actually Kelly Evans now moves away from the ball, leaves it for Dan Moss. Moss throws to Gorman, first time back to Dan Moss. Moss surrounded by two players, and Brown puts the tackle in, and Brown pokes it forwards, but cleared from Gorman towards the area, but Tavares gets there for Lewis, and then Tavares goes down. Free kick to Barnet, and Lewis certainly displaying his frustrations to Linesman. They felt there wasn't really enough contact.
It's a foul. You can't go barging into the back of someone. It's a foul every day of the week. You know, the bigger question should be, why are you doing that? Why are you not, jostling the player, trying to force them into an error? Why are you ploughing into them from behind?
Yeah, there probably wasn't really any need to make contact as well there from Dan Lewis. Tavares didn't have anywhere to go. So, free kick taken from Evans, header square from McCauley. Here's Kanu just by the centre circle. Andrews and Buteman around him. Nice flick up in the air from Kanu, but then Andrews just gets his body in between Kanu and the ball and squares it now to Chickson. Chickson over halfway down the left hand side for Effiong to chase, and in the end just gets away from Ini Effiong and out for a goal kick to Barnet. 3 minutes left of this first half at the Laythwaite Community Stadium. Woking 0, Barnet 1.
And Barnet looking very comfortable out there, you have to say. You really think they were the home side. They've dominated possession, they've controlled the game, obviously got their noses in front, they're full of confidence. It's going to be a big half-time talk, I think, from Neil Ardley, really. And as I say, I think probably things need to change as well in terms of formation.
Goal kick taken. Stead tried to control it on the turn, just miscontrolled it in the end. Now Akinola direct towards Lewis, heads up into the air. Lewis now heads it for himself again. Lewis now on the byline. Lewis tries to get the cross in, that goes out of bounds, and a goal kick to Barnet. Well, Lewis did well there, head up into the air, then head it in front for himself again, but that cross was a tight angle and stabbed that one well out of play.
Yeah, you've got to give Lewis credit. He's a willing runner out there, but there's not really been a lot of quality, but he certainly had more of the ball than Effiong.
Most certainly. Eastleigh now 3-0 up at Wealdstone. And they are flying there this afternoon. That's where Woking go next week. They hope they can come to that game off the back with a good result. As it stands, it's going in Barnet's favour at the moment. 2 minutes remaining in this first half, and Barnet leading by a goal to nil for Reece Brown. Okoli's header Away from the goal kick now, Chickson towards the centre circle, head up in the air from Tavares. Now Effiong flicks it forwards, cleared away though by Kenlock. By the head of Okoli. Flick up in the air from Buteman. Good tackle there from Andrews against Hartigan. That was a clear pull back there from Hartigan and Andrews, and no surprise that he's received the yellow card. So far both of the skippers are on yellow cards here this afternoon, and probably a pull that Hartigan felt he had to make. It was a good challenge there from Andrews, and had a chance to play it through to a couple of runners. So free kick for Gorman to take in the centre circle. The last minute of normal time in this first half. Can Woking draw level? Dale Gorman now just the sun in his eyes, just making sure he knows exactly where he wants to hit it to. Just a nice look at his options, and Gorman floats it towards the centre of the box, and Moss has it down, can't reach. Akinola flicked away. Now falls to Kelly Evans, edge of the area, hits it forwards, but again volleyed to the right hand side from Hartigan, and then cleared away for a throw by Leon Lovren. Flick on from Moss just caused a little bit of an issue for Barnet, but they did deal with it. Andrews takes the throw about 10 yards in the Barnet half, back on halfway now with Gorman. Again Gorman, right to the centre. Okoli flicks it to Kelly Evans. Can he keep it in play? Just was always bouncing away from the right foot off Dion Kelly Evans, and in the end just couldn't quite get that one under control. Did prevent it though from going for a goal kick at least, so Woking can try and box Barnet in. Throw for Glover to take by the corner flag on the left hand side. So now into first half stoppage time, where there'll be 3 minutes here. Throw now taken, flick on from Stead, and that rolls out for a throw to Woking. So can Woking find a way to draw level in these 3 minutes of stoppage time in this first half? Dan Moss with the throw here right on halfway. So he goes down the right, searching for Effiong. Clear from Kenlock. Forwards by Kelly Evans. Again, another header one from Barnet through Tavares. Now Kelly Evans heads it square in the box. That's thumped to safety there by Clifford. Now Kanu chasing down the ball against Chickson. Ball bounce over halfway. Chickson turns. Kanu still chasing. Chickson just over halfway. Nice flick inside from Buteman to Andrews. Back to Buteman. Now Buteman searching for Chickson down left hand side. Chickson tried to turn on the byline, but good work there from Clifford. Clears his lines. Header from Gorman. Drops here to Stead, just behind the centre circle in the Barnet half. Now Stead through the centre circle. That's a nice turn there from Brown, and caught by Dan Moss. Minute stoppage time played, and a chance of Barnet just to push up.
Quite lucky maybe Moss wasn't booked there.
You have to say British Brown just turned away from him with ease, and Moss did give him a clip. Seeing yellow cards given for that quite regularly.
And the referee is Mr. Durkin, who's well known for dishing out cards as well, like his dad. I've still never forgiven him. Sending off Lloyd Y in the FA Trophy final, semi-final rather, away at Stevenage.
So halfway into the 3 minutes of stoppage time in this first half. Woking 0, Barnet 1. Hartigan with the free kick. Bounce off Kelly Evans. Drops here to Glover. Now back on the inside left for Kanu. Again looks on his outside to Glover. Glover cutting in. Just now teased up behind it for Clifford. Come forward to the ball down the left hand side. On his outside to Kanu. Tried to get beyond Gorman, but good tackle there for Gorman with his right foot. I think now the situation Woking in a goal down. Just a minute of stoppage time to go on the back foot. They just need to see this out. Again, goal down at half time. Keep themselves in the game. So Glover to take the throw for Barnet. 45 seconds this first half to go. Glover's throw. Head away from Kelly Evans. Effiong now takes it on the stretch. Now Effiong looks over top it for Lewis. Is there a chance for Woking? And Kanu gets back brilliantly. Lewis still putting pressure on Kanu. Back to his goalkeeper. And Evans just lifts it over Lewis. Kanu controls, bit of space now for Kanu. Smashes it forwards. Up towards Brown. Okoli wins the header. Now Gorman on the turn. Was a bit of a high foot possibly against Gorman there from Stead. And again, the referee and a few Woking players around him. It's a free kick to Woking, and a few of the Woking players did not like that.
Well,
instead,
it was accidental. He didn't see Gorman there. He wasn't malicious at all. He just, okay, his foot was high, but what are you supposed to do? You were playing on a pitch that's rock hard. The ball is going to bounce up. You can't not challenge for it.
You have to say, it didn't really look a red card challenge for me. Obviously, there's been a big debate about high foots after what happened in the FA Cup, the Crystal Palace Millwall game.
Yeah, but that was an assault.
Yeah, that completely.
I mean, that was like Schumacher against Basti,
that one,
whatever it was. You know, I mean, that was a ridiculous challenge. This wasn't. He wasn't really aware that Gorman was around. As I say, the ball sat up high. You've got to go for it, otherwise, obviously, Dean Brennan will have something to say about it. And as I say, yes, he caught him.
Yeah, I think it's nothing more than possible yellow card. That one there for instead, and I understand the Woking players are frustrated. A few of them were straight by the referee again. Of course, the fans were desperate to possibly see a red card shown, but I did not think that was a red card. Or yellow has been given. That I think it's completely fair.
Well, even
in my opinion,
old school. Even I think it's harsh. I really do. But anyway, so Gorman is all right, and he doesn't need to go off to get stitched up or anything. But you know, when you reflect on this half, you can see why Barnet are where they are. They've been very good without being exceptional. They've been much better all over the park. Woking, I don't think playing with a 3 has helped them at all. The wing backs have never got forward, so you're playing with 5 at the back, which leaves you a chasm in other areas of the pitch for Barnet to exploit, and they have done. They've pushed up, played a high line. Okay, Denon Lewis has threatened once or twice with his runs, but there hasn't really been any end product. I don't really understand why Frank Vincent seems to be out of favour, because, you know, when he first came, I was really impressed with him, but he always seems to be on the bench. I'd have him out there. As I say, Woking need more bodies in midfield. They need to get more support to the forward players if they're going to get anything out of this game.
And there might be a possible formation change second half. We'll wait and see. Neil Lally does not think this is working at all. So will Jääskeläinen to take the free kick for Woking. Over the 4 minutes, but obviously that is due to Gorman going down a moment ago. So Jääskeläinen with the free kick towards the box. Couldn't be controlled here by Moss, but it still falls to him. Squares it to Kelly Evans, cleared from Brown. Moss on the right hand side, Kelly Evans back here to Buurtsman. Can he put a delivery in? Buurtsman towards the centre of the area, flip backwards there. There won't be enough time for Woking to take the corner. Half time here at the Laithwaite Community Stadium. It's Woking 0, Barnet 0. I have to say Barnet have control this half pretty comfortably, and again the deadlock was waiting to be broken. They were putting pressure on Barnet. They came on the 27th minute, ball into the box, and Woking failed to clear it, and Reece Brown smashed it with his right foot through a few bodies, and therefore Jääskeläinen again rooted to the spot, just nestled into centre net for Brown to score against his former side. Woking had a couple of moments. Den Lewis actually had an early volley straight at the goalkeeper. He got a few good positions as well. Den Lewis really just has, in the FPL, has been very isolated the first half, and yeah, Barnet just dealt with Woking very comfortably. And yeah, your last thoughts, John, that first half?
Yeah, it's been easy, I think, for Barnet. They've showed their class. They've done more than enough to be 1-0 up. Woking slightly fortunate that it is only 1-0, and whilst it remains 1-0, you know, they have a chance. It's a big team talk now from Neil Ardley if they're going to get anything out of this game in the second half.
Most certainly. So half time here at the Laithwaite Community Stadium. Woking 0, Barnet 1. Certainly a lot of work for the Cards to do in the second half. Hello and welcome back here to the Laithwaite Community Stadium. Woking 0, Barnet 1. What was a pretty comfortable first half of the visitors, and of course had to beat former Cardinal Reece Brown breaking the deadlock. Gave Woking fans a little bit of a shush as well. He was getting a bit of stick throughout the first half. Yeah, a lot of work to do for Neil Lally half time to try and again lift the players and get some fresh impetus going into this second half. But again, it is a very, very tough task against the league leaders. They're about to get us underway for the second 45. Again, skip Anthony Hartigan. Again, actually, him and Del Gorman, both skippers, are on yellow cards this afternoon, so they'll have to be a bit careful. The second half as Barnet get us back on the way. A long ball out to left-hand side, flicked on from Glover. Nice back kill there from Lovu to Brown. Brown now. Few step overs, goes behind him, midway inside the Woking half is Clifford, is Glover, down left hand side, puts the cross in, head away from Chicks, and Barnet appearing for a penalty, shot for Cardo, crossed the face of goal, went nowhere near going in the end, and then fell to Buurtsman to clear out the box, head away from College. Andrews couldn't get under control, but falls back to Andrews, Andrews tackled by Stead. And there is Barnett on the ball just in front of the centre circle with Hartigan. Glover towards the centre. Nice flick there from Lovu out to his left. Moss heads it down. Header Brown. And now Moss looks to go down the line. Foul has been given in Wokin's favour though. So free kick to the Cards. And straight away, John, Barnett right on the front foot.
Yep. And to be expected. I need to correct myself as well. I was talking about Durkin, the referee, and his father. I said in the semi-final he sent off Lloyd Wye. Of course, it was Kevin Brown who he sent off, and Lloyd Wye had probably the match of his life. Amazing performance. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, back to the game here. I would think Dean Brennan just reminds the players not to be complacent. You know, carry on as they are. See if they can score another one. And from a Woking perspective, really, they've got to pose much more of an attacking threat somehow. Really have. And they also need to try and stop playing out from the back, because, you know, the goal came really indirectly from them messing around with it here in the corner. And they lost possession. Just put your foot through it. There's no harm in going long. I don't know what it is these days about long ball. It looks like it's not allowed.
So throw for Barnett down left hand side. Wokin's a free kick, didn't amount to anything, but drops to Gorman. Plays it to left hand side to Chickson. Fends off Carney, but his pass wasn't great. And Glover now down the right hand side. Stead chasing it. Controls it on the byline. Holding off Akinola now. Stead by the corner flag, and in the end he tried to get through. I think just came off Stead last. It did come off his right foot last, and will be a throw for Chickson to take. Just over 2 minutes gone in the second half. So Adam Chickson throws it towards Effiong. Tries to take it under control, but he was pulled from Danny Collins. So a chance for Woking to push up higher now. Jääskeläinen coming across to take the free kick. And as it stands in the table, Woking only 4 points above the drop zone. Obviously Maynard leading that Gateshead, so that gap slowly closing as it stands. Jääskeläinen, the free kick headed away from Tavares. Here in the centre circle from Moss. Brown meets it with his head, now being chased down the left hand side from Stead, but Cody gets there first and guides it back to Jääskeläinen. But yeah, Woking still in a good position, obviously sitting in 18th, and do need to be a little bit wary. Sure, Neil Lally want a lot of those draws to turn into wins soon, and it will be Jääskeläinen now to scoop it forwards. Volleyed away though for Hartigan. Ball bouncing on the far side. Okoli slices his clearance, now spinning up in the air, and Lovu backing into him. Now Lovu turns away, and here's Stead inside the box. Stead shot blocked there from Akinola, and then clearance made by Okoli. Poke forward from Hartigan, drops it to Gorman as it nicked away from his feet, and now Glover cuts in. A few yards behind him to Hartigan. Square to Clifford, down left hand side, trapped by Stead. Now that's a heavy touch there by Kenlock, and cleared on the stretch from Moss. Header met just in front halfway by Tavares. Gorman knocks it down with his chest, now back in the centre circle with Andrews, pushing Clifford back into his half. That's good there from Andrews, and Andrews continuing the run towards the goalkeeper. Collins just cleverly blocked him off. Now Evans, nice pass to pick up Brown, out on the left hand side just over halfway. Kenlock coming down the left hand side, goes on his outside into the feet of Glover. Glover cuts in, nice feet from Glover. Glover now squares it just behind the D for Collins. Knocks it out to Kanu. Woking pin back here. Just over 4 minutes gone in this second half. Kanu now tries to drill and low cross. It's blocked there from Chicks and stayed in play. That was comfortable for Jääskeläinen to gather low down. Again, really, this second half has started as the first half ended, and really what was nearly all the first half, but Barnett having most of the territory. Effiong flicks on Jääskeläinen's ball. Lewis can't quite play it into the feet of Effiong, and Kanu turns and clears. Akinola controls it in front of halfway, hits it off Stead. Now Hartigan plays it low, and Lovu now gives it to Brown in the centre circle, gets away from Gorman, out to the right hand side to Stead. This is looking promising for Barnett. Crossing for Stead, takes deflection. Lovu controls it near post. It's been sent a little bit further wide than he wanted to be, but lifts it back out to Stead. Here's Kanu. Barnett close to the box now. Infield, it's a cross there for Hartigan, which goes onto the roof of Jääskeläinen's net. Again, Barnett putting on the early second half pressure, looking to get that 2-goal gap in between them and Woking. And Neil Lally wanting to see more attacking threat from his side. Really struggled this game so far to severely test Owen Evans. So Will Jääskeläinen left-footed, right in the middle, searching here for Beatsman. Heads it up in the air. Can Beatsman win it again? Beatsman does hit it forwards, but fouled his man in the process in Hardsken. Again, the Woking frustration just continues. Had a chance to maybe try and make the ball stick there, and then Beatsman just ended up giving away a free kick, which will be left for Owen Evans to take. But again, looking at the way things are at the bottom, again, Dagenham and Redbridge at the moment by weight. They're now 2-1 down against Tamworth. They were leading, but May has just put Tamworth in front there to turn the game on its head. So free kick taken, headed away by Moss. Barnett still out on the left hand side. Glover tries to get the low cross. Well, he did manage to get the cross into the box and flicked away from Macaulay. Now Chickson running towards the byline under pressure from Kanu. Chickson clears down the left. Lewis controls deep inside his half. Infielder, nice balance from Andrews. Andrews is pass forward block there from Stead, and certainly Dean Brennan liked the press in there by Callum Stead. Came off Stead, fourth throw, but again Woking just struggling here. Again, problems that they had in the first half, trying to play out from the back. Throw by Chickson. Effiong flicks on. Lewis beaten to it by Tavares in the air. Gorman heads behind him. Drops it for Hardsken. 30 yards and go out towards the right hand side. Stead gets there for Akinola. Akinola just nicks off Stead and managed to hit it off the Barnet man as well for a throw to Woking right in front of the corner flag on the left hand side. 52.5 minutes played at Layfleet Community Stadium. Woking 0, Barnet 1. Effiong flicks on the throw. Count for the top of Clifford's head. Now on the bounce, Effiong towards halfway. Kenlock has plenty of time to control, but Lewis chasing him down. Kenlock in the centre circle turns and goes back to Evans. Manages to clear. Ball spinning just over halfway on Barnett's right. Knocked from Chickson with his hip to Andrews. Now Andrews looks to set away Beatsman. He does do so. Beatsman tries to cut in. Good challenge there from Tavares. Tavares clears fourth throw. That's a little bit better from Woking now. Finally putting on a bit of pressure this second half. And the throw here for Jamie Andrews to take. Can Woking try and cause problems from a long throw? I've had a fair few of them this game, but again, Barnet have dealt with them pretty well. So Andrews now releases the throw right into the centre of the box. Attempt to flick on Beatsman. Almost fell to Okoli. Ball rolling bound, and it does fall to Okoli, but off balance, and did just strike that one over the bar, out the ground. But again, Barnet was struggling to clear there. Chinwike Okoli just couldn't keep his balance in the end. Just approaching the 54th minute, still Woking 0, Barnet 1.
Well, I suppose it was a bit of pressure, wasn't it? Which didn't see an awful lot of in the first half. You feel if Woking are going to get anything out of this game, it might be from, a ball into the box, free kick, corner, knockdown, something along those lines, because they haven't created anything really from open play.
Evans with a goal kick, trying to find a Lovu on the stretch. That was good work there from Moss, just to nod it back to Jääskeläinen. I agree with you there, John. In terms of, again, it's going to have to maybe set pieces, try and ruffle some feathers and get that level at Jääskeläinen, left-footed. Looking for Effiong. They've got to get that man more involved. Effiong flicks on, cleared away from Glover. Back into the Woking half, headed down from Moss. Now Andrews on the turn. That's an invited ball to find Chickson. Chickson drifts inside, knocks it to Beatsman just behind the D. Beatsman now square for Effiong. This is looking promising. Effiong tries to thread it to Beatsman, couldn't find him, and that's cleared away by Hartigan. And now Brown holds it up midway inside his half. Nice turn there from Brown on the inside, and then drags it to his left to Clifford. Clifford just beyond halfway, bit of room. Effiong trying to get a challenge in, but Clifford spins away from him. Facing his own goal, Clifford Hartigan. Lightly played first time to Kenlock, travels into the Woking half, still Kenlock, driving down left hand side. Kenlock takes heavy touch, cleared from Moss on the stretch. Gorman plays it inside. Andrews just about keeps his balance. Now it's a nice ball to find Lewis on left hand side. Lewis over midway inside the Barnet half. Lewis gets on the outside of Collins. Lewis puts the cross in, no one in the middle though. Easy header away there for Tavares, but the last couple of minutes Woking now starting to put a bit of pressure on Barnet finally.
Yeah, and that was good work from Denon Lewis. You know, found that bit of extra pace, and it wasn't a bad cross.
So just over 10 minutes into the second half, Woking trailing by goal to nil. They're starting to up the tempo a bit. Andrews throw, head away there from Collins, out the box. Lewis trying to get under control, couldn't do so. Now Stead can come away with it. Stead away from Lewis now. Chance of Barnet to get forward. Stead on his own, heading towards the box. Chickson now put him under pressure. Stead cuts in into the box. Stead on his left foot. Stead now onto his right. Just taken away from him for the last minute from Kelly Evans. It goes past Jaskalainen, but not into the back of the net. Corner kick to Barnet. And that was certainly a heart-mouth moment for a set when that wriggled past Jaskalainen's left hand.
Wow, great work from Stead. Twisted one way, then another. For a minute, I thought he was going to get a decent connection on it and just roll it into the net. He certainly showed some pace as well. He left Denon Lewis standing.
Certainly did, and really good work from Stead, especially as he was on his own really, and had to he took it onto his left foot and switched onto his right, and I just gave that little bit of time for Kelly Evans to nip in there. Got it away from his feet, but also got away from the left-hander Jaskalainen, but trickled wide and out for a corner kick for Hartigan to take on the left-hand side. 57 minutes play, corner in, bounce off Effiong, cleared away. Now just behind the D with Clifford, bouncing ball back out to the right. Header there from Hartigan, stays in play. Glover tackled by Beatsman, now chance of Woking to get forward there. Beatsman still deep inside his half, gives it to Gorman over the top towards Effiong, ball bouncing behind halfway and Kenlock gets to it, heads it forwards for Barnet. Brown with a cushion header back. Barnet midway inside the Woking half with Stead. Now Glover down the right, cleared from Andrews, only as far as Clifford, a few yards in the Woking half. The inside right now on his outside to Glover. Glover pays it back. Clifford whips it down the flank. Brown on the byline, keeps it in play, holding off on Giacchinola. Still Reece Brown, needs a bit of help, has that in Hartigan. Hartigan out to Stead, edge of the box now, moving further out towards sideline. Now Brown in field to Clifford. Here's Hartigan. Plays it just in front of him to Stead, knocks off towards Brown. Ball inside the Woking area, but it's with Akinola. Back towards his goalkeeper, Lovu. Nicks in there, Lovu from a tight angle into the side netting. And that happened first half. Slap pass there from Akinola. Gorman furious. Then Lovu from a tight angle. Did get a shot away this time compared to the first half, but into the side netting. Still Woking 0, Barnet 1, 58 minutes played.
Yeah, Woking nearly shooting themselves in the foot yet again. At 6s and 7s at the back. You know, got to concentrate. Got to keep the levels up. Can't afford to just do things like that. Not least because it encourages the opposition.
That was really poor there. Anton Giacchinola got away with that one. Collins heads away the goal kick. Chickson on halfway. Chickson bend the ball out towards left hand side. Lewis trying to get onto it. Carnu turns. Lewis still putting the pressure on. Carnu back to Evans. Nice whip ball away from Evans. Over halfway. Header one there from Chickson. Andrews trying to get onto it. Ball bounces. Andrews leaning into his man. Gets his helmet but drops to Hartigan. Hartigan now lifts it with his left foot down the right flank. And Lover on the byline. Edge of the box. And Lover just holds it up. Now back to Carnu. Carnu now in a bit of space to take on his man. That's a good standing challenge there. And by Jamie Andrews. Now Andrews goes long towards Lewis, too far over him. And comfortable for Evans.
Woking definitely trying to go longer, aren't they? You know, which is, as I say, I think what they've had to do really, because trying to tippy-tappy it around at the back wasn't really the right thing.
Gorman first time trying to play it towards Beatsman halfway. Beatsman wins the 50-50 against Brown, but then instead in the end goes in the path of Brown, who knocks it back to his goalkeeper outside his box. Evans sends a diagonal pass towards Glover. Glover, nice touch there. Moss gets across, and Moss puts Glover under enough pressure. He couldn't really get the cross he wanted in. Glover easily caught the near post by Jaskalainen. Good pressure there from Dan Moss. Now Gorman into the centre of the Woking after Andrews. Chickson flicks over Carnu. Woking still just inside the half with Lewis holding off Collins. Now inside to Andrews. Andrews now trying to set away Effiong. That's good work there from Evans, though. Hits it off his own play in Tavares, but bit of fortune for Barnet goes in the path of Carnu. Now back to Evans. And Evans clears his line. Bit of a shaky moment there for Barnet.
Yeah, it was. I can see Marias getting ready to come on from Woking. You would imagine probably for Effiong, who to me has looked tired out there. I know he's not really had much opportunities at all, but just the way he's running, really, he looks like he's running in treacle. So
just over an hour played here at the Laithwaite Community Stadium. Woking 0, Barnet 1, but the Cards have been better this second half. Andrews, throw down the left-hand side. Header goes backwards and Kanu drops the Beatsman edge of the box, couldn't get his touch right, and Kenlock holds him off and carries it away. Now Kenlock goes direct, can't set away in Lovely though, and the ball was back in Jaskline's area. One touch on his right and then dives on top of it. And now Woking, they build from the back, or will Jaskline go long? I think, as John was alluding to a moment ago, I think the plan is to go longer this second half, which I actually noticed them doing a bit the back end of the first half as well. Jaskline search for Effion, tries to flick on but bounces off Collins. Now Effion wins it back, and he flicks over the head of Clifford, but a heavy touch from Effion on the end, and now from the centre circle just cleared out towards the right hand side by Kenlock. No one running towards it, so that will be a Woking throw deep inside the half though, so Barnet can try and box them in. So it's left for Chickson to take the throw for Woking, but Nilali be relieved that Woking are still in this game, given the dominance that Barnet had in the first half. They're competing well this second half, Woking, without creating an abundance of opportunities. Throw taken, drops here to Clifford. Clifford now trying to pick out Stead. He does do so on the byline. Stead now back to Kanu. Kanu being forced away from goal from Andrews. Now knocks it to his left into the feet of Clifford. Now out to Stead. Stead puts the cross in, headed away at the near post. There by Tunji Akinola. Corner kick for Barnet on the right hand side. And again, Barnet now, they're trying to just take the sting out of things and try and get that 2-goal cushion here at the Laythwaite Community Stadium.
Decent support this afternoon from Barnet, you have to say. Good voice.
Yeah, most certainly, and again, they're loving life at the moment, top of the league. After finishing second last season, heartbreak of the playoffs, didn't even get to the final. Hartigan, corner kick in for the right hand side, headed away there from Andrews. Ball still inside the box. Kanu gets under control against Lewis. Gorman put the pressure on. Gorman now gets it off Kanu, steps across Kanu, bit of contact on the far side, and that results in a Woking free kick. Cleverly done there by Del Gorman. Just give you a chance to get the latest scores in the National League. Not great news for Woking fans. Aldershot lead at Altrincham by goal to nil. Braintree 0, Boston 1, Dagenham 1, Tamworth 2, Ebbsfleet 1, Fylde 0, Forest Green 2, Southend 1, Gateshead 0, Maynhead 1, Halifax now 3-0 up at Sutton. Same scoreline, Eastleigh's favour at Wealdstone. York leading at Yeovil by goal to nil, but Barnet are responding by leading by goal to nil here at Laythwaite Community Stadium. And Junior Marias now on for Denon Lewis. Let's see what he can provide. Junior Marias again had a fantastic debut against his former side, Dagenham. But again, home game so far, really wants to announce himself to the home fans. Free kick from Jaskline and flicked on there by Effion. What a great chance for Marias to announce himself to the home fans. Scoring a goal this afternoon. Kenlock flicks it away. Now Gorman again down the right hand side, search for Effion. Effion blocks the clearance from Kenlock, and that goes out for a goal kick to the visitors. So again, I think Nilali be open that Effion Marias can try and get a bit of combination play going. Again, Effion has been a little less isolated this second half. That'll be a big result at the bottom, by the way, looking at Maynhead still leading at Gateshead by a goal to nil. Again, interesting, Fylde trailing at Ebbsfleet by a goal to nil. So goal kick for Evans, it finds a lovely left hand side of the box, and that's really good work from Kelly Evans to get across and prevent it from going for a corner kick as well. Cleared out for a throw on the left hand side, and yeah, huge credit there to Dion Kelly Evans getting the cross. It was a brilliant goal kick from Evans, from Owen Evans of Barnet to finally in Lovely left hand side of the box. So Glover to take the throw on the far side. Glover now towards near post, headed away by Dion Kelly Evans. On the stretch is given to Kanu, right hand side of the box. Kanu now cuts in. Kanu now, low shot from Hartigan, not a lot of power, cleared from Gorman. Flicked further on from Beatman. Woking boxed in here. Here's Clifford. And now Glover out on the left hand side, trying to take on Beatman as Kelly Evans just in behind him. Glover goes back with his right foot to Hartigan. Barnet 40 yards and goal with Hartigan. Picks out Brown with a forward pass. Left hand side, good sliding challenge there by Dan Moss, and that results in a Barnet throw Can now managing this game pretty well the away side, even though Woking have put a little bit more pressure on this second half. So 25 minutes to go here. Woking 0, Barnet 1. Throw for Ryan Glover to take from the left hand side, just about level with the corner of the area. So Glover releases the throw towards near post, easily caught there from Jääskeläinen. Now Woking a chance to get the ball upfield quickly. Jääskeläinen, it's a nice throw to find Effiong just behind halfway. Effiong controls it, still in the Effiong, and Effiong looks bemused. The referee's blown his whistle. It's a free kick to Barnet in the end. And
what on earth for? He can't be an offside because he's in his own half.
It's a bizarre one. I didn't see any foul there from Effiong. Yeah, as John said, he was in his own half. So I'm surprised as Effiong there. Free kick for Barnet though.
Very strange.
So Owen Evans, again, a few of the Woking fans think Evans taking a little bit too long with this, but I think Cliff and the referee, just in conversation now, the referee blows his whistle for Evans to take it. That just goes straight back to Jääskeläinen in the end, and now Jääskeläinen maybe just take it a little bit more time then for his team to push up.
It looks like Walker and Vincent are also being prepared to come on. Neil Ardley having a word with them at the moment.
Ball through the middle from Jääskeläinen, from Moraes to chase, but Tavares gets there first and just has the easy job, stretching his neck and knocking it back with his head to Evans. Woking 0, Barnet 1, just gone past the 67th minute. Long ball from Evans and almost bounced to Nlovu, but Jääskeläinen will get to it. Yeah, that's another ball from Evans, which
massive kick, wasn't it?
Almost found Nlovu. That's certainly a tactic that's almost undoing Woking here. It's given to Moss, inside to Gorman. Back to Moss, and now in the Woking area with a Coley. Jääskeläinen, left-footed, searching towards halfway where can't find Effiong, headed one by Kanu. Poke forward some Brown, picks out Stead on the right side, trying to turn away from Andrews. Has Kanu in close proximity. That will be a throw for Barnet. Tackle from Jamie Andrews in the end, but Barnet fans in great voice at the moment. Again, very much enjoying themselves this season and here at the Laythwaite Community Stadium this afternoon, but probably have a little bit of nerves though at the same time, with it only being a goal up. They are managing the game well. Have a throw to take, level with the penalty area on the right hand side, and the usual suspect from throws, Ryan Glover, to take. Headed away only as far as Hartigan. It's back in the area, headed away again by Woking through Akinola. It's out on the left hand side with Stead. Kanu midway inside the cards aft, plays it 3 yards behind him to Clifford. Forwards now on that left flank for Stead to try and take on his man. Stead, can he get the crossing? Good slide and challenge there by Dion Kelly-Evans, and the ball stays in play. Kelly-Evans now goes direct. It finds Buteman, controls that with his right knee. Buteman knocks it out to Moraes, just behind halfway. Junior Moraes goes behind him to Gorman. Nice feet there from Gorman. Square to Jamie Andrews, just behind the centre circle. Moves it to his left to Tunji Akinola. Now Chickson wants over halfway. Akinola enters the Barnet half, then squares it to Andrews. Now Woking back in the half with Akinola. Akinola tries to scoop it to Chickson, does manage to find him. Chickson now on the stretch, plays that towards Effiong, but not the greatest contact on that pass when Chickson was stretching. Collins back to Evans, and Evans' clearance goes out for a Woking throw for Andrews to take just the front halfway. Down the left hand side, Effiong wins the flick on. Clearance made though by Tavares. Brown just guys that back of his head over Gorman's, but drops it to Moraes now. Ball into the box, volleyed away to safety by Glover. Ball bounced over halfway, and Nlovu backing into Akinola. Cody gets there and wins the header. Andrews hooks it into the Barnet half time though for Hartigan to hit it forwards. Maybe could have taken that one down. Hartigan decided to volley it towards the right hand side. Nowhere near finding Liam Nlovu. And that's a throw for Woking deep inside the half. 20 minutes to go here at the Laythwaite Community Stadium. Woking 0, Barnet 1 as Wilson pull one back against Eastleigh. And now Tamworth 3-1 up against Dagenham. So Neil Ardley running the changes. Looks to be Walker coming on now. And as John mentioned a few minutes ago, Walker and Vincent were in conversation with Neil Ardley. And the substitution is going to be made. So Adam Chickson making way here. So it's Jacob Jones coming on here for Adam Chickson first. So it's an interesting run out for Jacob Jones again. Certainly been a player who's been out of favour, signed for the summer, but chance for him to really prove himself now. Has some decent gains in the cup competitions. And also coming off is Dale Gorman for Lewis Walker. Again, Dale Gorman on the yellow card, so probably a smart substitution by Neil Ali. Let's see what Lewis Walker can do. So what do you make of those substitutions then in terms of the players that have come off, John?
Well, I'm a bit surprised that the Chickson, not substitution, but the player who's come on, because I don't really think Jacob Jones is really impressed whenever I've seen him. And yeah, Gorman, I'm sure it is tactical, really, with that trophy game coming up. And as I say, it's probably sensible.
So Jones' first action is to take the throw. Headed one from Effiong, touch from Brown, breaks back to Effiong. Now just over halfway, Kenlock heads it down in the centre circle, taking on the chest of Clifford under pressure from Beatsman. He has Glover there to clear it through the middle. Ball bouncing the centre of the Woking half. Stead heads it on, calmly taking it on the chest of Moss. Square to Kelly Evans. First time pass to Morais. Woking still inside the half. Morais back here now to Moss, being chased down from Lovu. Moss slits but got the pass away now. Effiong volleys it towards the right hand side, and was there a push there from Barnet man on Kelly Evans? Nothing given in the end. Here's Brown, and now hit forwards down the left hand side, volleyed away from Moss with a few pills. I think that was Stead tracking back on Kelly Evans. Woking fans are appealing for a free kick, nothing given though, and a throw for Barnet, but just over 10 yards in the Woking half on the left hand side for Glover to take. Again, York keeping on the pressure at the moment on Barnet, leading by Goldstone, but Barnet doing their job. Hit Layford Community Stadium, throw taken by Glover, and then just bounces away from Brown for Woking goal kick. All it takes for Woking still in this game, just that one chance to change things. So goal kick for Will Jaskalainen, just about to reach the 73rd minute here. So can Woking try and find that level? And Walker, who's come on a moment ago, flicks it to Effiong down the left hand side. Tavares with a tackle. Ball rolls out. Did come off Tavares last. So again, chance for Woking to send the throw in. Cody had a shot over the bar early on this half from a long throw. That's about the only time where Woking have caused a bit of an issue from a long throw this game. So Jamie Andrews now to take it. Andrews came right to the centre. Can't reach head of Coley, headed away and then volleyed into the Woking half there by Lovu. Good defended by Barnet. It's back in the centre of the Woking half with Will Jaskalainen. So Jaskalainen now looks towards the right hand side, searching for Walker. And then Walker's beaten the air. Beatsman does flick it just behind to Kelly Evans now. Here is Harry Beatsman. Good feet from Beatsman. Shifts it to Andrews in the centre. Andrews now works out to Jones. Jones, is he going to look down the line? Goes in field instead to Beatsman. Beatsman drills it towards Walker. Takes it on his chest. Walker charts it. Walker hits it in down to the ground and straight to the goalkeeper. That was a really good chance there for Woking to level up. Lovely ball over the top into the box. Walker got his first touch right with his chest. Hit it down to the ground. It was straight to Evans in the end.
Well, I'm sorry, but you have to take those opportunities. You really, really do at this level. It was an easy chance, really. He wasn't under a great deal of pressure. You could say it sat up a little bit.
Liam Lovely right inside the box, and that's cleared away from the 6-yard area there by Dan Moss for a throw. Sorry, continue, John.
Yeah, it was at a reasonable height for him, but he just didn't really get a proper connection. He put it straight at the keeper. You've got to finish those. You have to.
Yeah, it was a pretty rusty finish by Walker. So Barnet now preparing substitution. It looks to be Joe Grimwood to come on. And I think that is Reece Brown making way as it stands. The quarter an hour to go. His goal will be the match-winning one. A few boos from the Woking fans, but I think Brown's enjoyed it. Gave a little shush to Woking fans when he scored, and he's putting a good shift for his side this afternoon.
Yeah, he's a quality player. He is. The trouble was, Woking certainly last season he was injured for far too much of it, but it's not his fault. But on his day, he's a really, really good player. Good signing for Dean Brennan.
Another throw for Barnett, as Hartigan just hit that one off Walker. This one will probably be a longer throw coming into the box. So Glover now towards near close with the long throw. Head up into the air from McCauley, still looping up. Header one from Barnett again. Woking need to try and get away. Buteman just received a little nudge in the back, and that will be a free kick for Woking. So in the Effiong, I think in the Effiong was calling for that one quickly from Will Jääskeläinen. But again, I think Jääskeläinen just wants his teammates just to get themselves in better positions for taking this free kick, and he does look for Effiong. Effiong heads up in the air towards his right, still chasing it down Effiong. Header one from Kellogg, now Effiong still out the right side, stretching to try and keep in play. Glover plays it backwards, diving, header away there by Grimwood. Here is Moss. Moss now, right foot on top of the ball. Moss moves it in field to Buteman. Buteman being pressed here by Clifford. It's gone back to Jääskeläinen. First time to Moss. Moss now, just in front of the Woking area. Now back inside the area to Jääskeläinen. Jääskeläinen moves it to Okoli. Again, Jääskeläinen on the ball. Now to his right to Dan Moss. Moss slowly going towards halfway. Moss looks to play it down the right side, cut out there from Glover. Now Moss wins the tackle. Infield to Andrews. Just behind him to Buteman. Square for Jones. Walker wants the ball. Jones goes inside to Buteman. Just in front of the centre circle. Buteman looks over the top towards Inni Effiong. He finds him left hand side the area, now on the byline. And the flag goes up against Effiong. It's the frustration of the home side. Good idea there from Buteman, but the run was too early.
Yeah, but you know, it's good to see Buteman try. He's dropped back, he's playing a little bit deeper, he's playing a little bit more central, and you know, he has got the class and the intelligence to play decent passes and find the gaps, and that was a case in point really. It's a shame Effiong was offside, but that was slightly better from Woking.
So Barnett making another substitution now. And that looks to be Jordan Cropper coming on here for Billy Clifford. He's done a really good job in midfield today. So second substitution now made by Dean Brennan. Genka Willstone beyond for an unbelievable comeback against Eastleigh now. Only 3-2 to Eastleigh when Eastleigh were 3-0 up. Southend have equalised at Forest Green as well. Altrincham one apiece now with all the shot too. Free kick taken from Evans, can't stick there to Nlovu. Drops to Andrews. Andrews trying to get in between two players, and Lovely though puts in the challenge, heading towards the box. Andrews, that's a good recovery challenge there. Now Andrews pokes it away, but did just catch and Lovely's ankle, and Leon Lovely just screams in delight. He absolutely loving that one. It was a good battle there between him and Jamie Andrews, which Lovely ended up coming out on top by winning the free kick, which is about 23-24 yards from goal. Anthony Hartigan behind it. So just over 10 minutes to go here at the Layfake Community Stadium. Barnett in control of this one, but Woking only a goal down. Still kept themselves in this one. Just that one moment to fall to them. Lewis Walker had a good chance, come off the bench, but just couldn't get his finish right. That ball over the top. So free kick to be hit here from Hartigan. About 23-24 yards out. Inside right. So let's see if he could test Jääskeläinen from this one. It's a good distance for him. Jääskeläinen just making sure that the wall's properly set. Buteman in communication with him. Three-man wall of Effiong, Marias and Buteman. So Hartigan goes to delivery towards the back post. Flicked away from McCauley for a corner kick to Barnett. And then Coley, pretty simple job for him. It was a dangerous looking delivery from Hartigan, but Coley right place, right time to nod that one out.
Yeah, good pace on that free kick.
And Hartigan, the man who took that free kick, coming out to take the corner kick on the far side. Gets a nice round of applause from his fans. So 10 minutes to go at Layfake Community Stadium. Woking Hill Barnet 1, former Cardinal Reece Brown. The only goal this afternoon now off, and a certain little smile from coming off Reece Brown when receiving a few boos. Certainly embraced it. Hartigan, low corner kick in, cleared away from Kelly Evans. Carnu gets to edge of the area now. Moraes trying to come away with it. Tackle from Hartigan. Rolls to Effiong. Maybe a chance of Woking it. Moraes tries to get round his man over halfway, but good covering. And a pass back in the end by Grimwood quickly to his goalkeeper. And now long through the middle. Header goes square from McCarty for Jones to chase. Just a bit too far away from Jacob Jones. And that will be a throw for Barnet again. They're just managing this game very professionally. Again, it just shows their class at the moment, Barnet. They're real class above in this league. And throw on the right hand side. Looks to be Jordan Cropper to take it. Gets the ball quickly as Barnet fans in really good voice on the far side. So Cropper, long throw in, headed away there by Effiong. Headed away now from Buteman as well. And a shot there from Carnu. Comfortably blocked. It falls back to Carnu on left hand side. Carnu now edge the box. Carnu low corner strike, pushed away there from Jääskeläinen and cleared there by Dan Moss. Output throw. Again, it was a good save there from Jääskeläinen. Carnu can't let him cut inside like that. Jääskeläinen did well.
He did well because not only did he save it, but he managed to get it slightly away from the danger area.
Certainly did. And long throw now comes in to the box from Cropper. Head away from Moss, falls back here to Cropper. Facing up Buteman. Buteman making the angle tight. Buteman blocks the cross. Bounce out of play though for Barnet corner. Again, Barnet just really taking the sting out of things with 8 minutes to go. And again, it was a really good save from Jääskeläinen a moment ago. And again, John was completely correct on what he's saying. The Jääskeläinen did so well as well to push it away from the danger zone and putting it right into a Barnet figure. So corner kick on the right hand side for the visitors. Anthony Hartigan to take 82.5 minutes on the clock here. Hartigan out swing corner, good header away there from Kelly Evans at the near post and being chased down here from Walker. And then Walker gave everything he could but just beats the ball in the end, and Barnet let it run out for a throw. He was in a foot race with Cropper, and Cropper will be the man to take the throw again. So Cropper, a long throw into the box. Ball bouncing around here. Lovu's shot blocked by Lewis Walker. And that loops out for another corner kick to Barnet. Walker doing his defensive duties well. If only he scored that chance, maybe this would be a different game at the moment. So another corner for Anthony Hartigan to take on the right hand side. Maindead now 2-0 up against Gateshead. What a huge win that will be at the bottom end of the National League. Not great news for Woking fans that. At least Dagenham are losing, another team around Woking. They're losing 3-1 against Tamworth. Corner in there from Hartigan. Headed towards goal. Brilliant save there from Jääskeläinen. It came off the head of Nlovu. Woking get it clear only as far as Carnu. Now back towards halfway. Diagonal from Tavares. Nice touch there on the far side from Hartigan. Tackle one from Walker. Again against Glover. Now Walker outside of his right foot. Looks at Moraes. Moraes can't get the touch right with his right foot. Again, good idea there from Walker. Neil Ali still encouraging his players that and not give up. They're still in this game, that certainly have Jääskeläinen to thank.
Yeah, it was another terrific save because I don't think he saw it until the last minute either.
So throw down the right hand side, header one there from Chinwike Kohli. And that'll be a throw for Barnet, level with the penalty area.
At the moment, Woking just cannot get into this game. It's all Barnet at the moment, all Barnet pressure. You know, they're not sitting back, they're going for a second.
So throw here for Jordan Cropper to take. And the right hand side level with the penalty area. So Cropper towards near post. Dealt with there by the head of Buteman. Barnet have it, edge of the area with Glover. Glover's cross blocked by Buteman. Few pills handball from the Barnet fans. Comes to Glover again. That cross sails high and out of play. So 5 minutes to go here at the Laithwaite Community Stadium. Can Woking find an equaliser? Again, only need that one goal, but it feels like a massive ask the way this game's gone. Again, Barnet could easily have more than one goal. I've had a couple decent opportunities in recent minutes. Connery having a shot save from Jääskeläinen, and Liam Lovu the even better chance to the corner kick. That was a brilliant save from Jääskeläinen. Speaking last, Jääskeläinen goes long towards Effiong, flicks it on, but headed away there by Grimwood. Poke forwards from Jones for Effiong to chase, and in the end Collins can just let that one comfortably go out of play for a goal kick to Barnet.
Yeah, if only Woking can get it up the other end and maybe work a corner, some sort of set piece maybe. I feel that that's really the only way they're going to get an equaliser. Because certainly Barnet look very, very comfortable out there, they really do.
Goal kick here from Owen Evans. 4 minutes remaining here at Layford Community Stadium. Flick on from Stead, controlled on the chest there of Dan Moss, and that was a clearance there from Dan Moss, just sliced out of play in the end. And again, just frustration for Woking just continues this afternoon in the sunshine. Again, Barnet just seem to have Woking completely locked down here. Woking just don't really have an out ball at all to someone's trying to link up with Ini Effiong. So Collins again down the right hand side of the throat, header one from Jones. Walker fighting to keep it, came off Cropper last. Throw for Woking. Dean Brennan certainly disagrees that decision. Throw from Andrews. Effiong beaten the air by Tavares on the stretch. Collins clears out of play. So Andrews, throw down the left hand side, searching for Effiong. Effiong can't get it under control, drops it to Cropper, hooks it forwards. Moss gets to it first, heads it down in the centre circle to his right. Kelly Evans now down the line for Morais to hold up. Morais, edge of the box, about 23 yards and goal. Morais now looks behind him to Akinola, moves it right in the middle for Andrews. The Barnet wall to beat. Andrews tries to link up Walker, poor return from Walker, cleared away on the stretch. Now Lover in his own half holds it up. Lover tackled by Walker, fighting to keep it, to make amends for a poor pass, and Walker loses it again. Now Cody steps in, pass it to Effiong on the stretch, and free kick to Woking. I think the referee were playing on initially, but again it was a Cody who was just clipped by Lovu. So free kick for Woking to take. About 30 yards in goal. Jamie Andrews, could this be the moment? Woking have done well to keep themselves in it, just haven't created much, but and sometimes that's all you need, just to stay in the game and have that one last moment of the death. There's 2 minutes to go here, normal time. Woking 0, Barnet 1. Jamie Andrews, left foot to free kick, headed away though by Liam Lovu. Is that push down Carney? Referee does give a free kick to Barnet, just a little push from Harry Beatsman onto the back of Idris Kanu.
And Will Jääskeläinen voted the sponsors man of the match. Don't think there'll be too many arguing with that. Did you give out the attendance today or not? Because I can tell you what it is.
I haven't mentioned the attendance, no.
Oh, it's...
That's right, it's 3,281, not 81.
Yeah, it's 328. It's 3,281. 2,487 home fans and 794 fans from Barnet. Good turnout.
It certainly is a good turnout, and so far the Barnet fans certainly a lot more happier. Zach Brunt too come on here for Callum Stead. And another Barnet change, and have a free kick to take in the last minute of a normal time. Owen Evans now has a sight set to ping this one towards the right hand side. Cleared away from Jones, drops and filled towards Brunt, cleared up in the air from Andrews, now stepped on to the ball by Hartigan. Hartigan trying to look for Lovu down the right hand side, does find him, and Lovu holding it up against a collie by the corner flag, and Lovu now to Cropper. Here's Brunt trying to find Cropper again, cleared away from Jones, only as far as Hartigan. Ball rolling around the Woking box. Akinola trying to win it back, and now drops it for a Cody. His clearance blocked, but falls into the path of Moss. Square to Kelly Evans, cleared away. Trying to look for Walker, sails over his head, and it's a square from Collins. And now Barnet clear from halfway. It goes back here to Jääskeläinen. It was Ken Lott's clearance, and now chance of Woking to get it forwards. Jääskeläinen getting ball spinning towards Effiong. So contact there from Effiong. There was indeed. According to the officials, and there is 3 minutes of stoppage time again. I have to say, I'm not surprised about that. It's been a pretty flowing second half, and again stoppage time will start off by Barnet taking a free kick. Again, I've said this a few times, but Barnet's game management has just been superb. Just a showing of champions this afternoon. Nothing overly flashy, but again, taking the moment. Again, we had the real momentum, attacking wise, and again, that's a good moment second half. But overall, just managing the game well. Free kick here for Owen Evans to take 3 yards behind the centre circle. Evans now out towards the right hand side, and a header won there. Well, I thought it was won by Jones, but linesman's actually pointed for a Woking throw on this left hand side. Another substitution here for Barnet. So Dom Telford on for Liam Lovely, who's been a real handful today. And yeah, Liam Lovely gets a nice round of applause, unsurprisingly, as adoring Barnet supporters on the far side. So just a bit of time again for Barnet to tip down with a substitution. And Telford now on, and Woking can take the throw on the left hand side through Jones, and Jones throw to Jääskeläinen. So over halfway into the 3 minutes of stoppage time, can Woking create one last opportunity to level things up? Morais back to Moss just behind halfway. Moss direct, searching towards Kelly Evans, headed away there by Grimwood. Now Barnet have it just behind halfway, but good work from Andrews to get across Bron. Now Andrews falls past too far in front of Kelly Evans. Turn and clearance only as far as Buteman, being charged down there by Glover. Good tackle there from Glover, and Ken Locke just has to clear that one out of play for a Woking throw. A minute left here at the Laythwaite Community Stadium. It's left for Jamie Andrews to take the long throw on the right hand side. Could something drop for Woking here? This ground will erupt if they can find an equaliser. So throw comes in from Andrews, ball bouncing ahead, it comes off the head of Akinola and hooked out the area by Brunt. Jones heads back towards the box, and Barnet clear their lines through Grimwood. Now they have it with Telford on the left hand side. Telford, one touch to take over halfway, chasing down Jones. Jones turns, gives it to Andrews. Barnet pressing though and forcing Woking back. Jones on the ball again. Jones, long ball down the inside right, can't reach Walker, diving header away there by Grimwood. Again, it's back with Jones just behind halfway, turns and goes behind him to Moss, and Moss slides towards the ball, gives it to Andrews. Andrews, this pass blocked off by Glover, and now Barnet can attack it to maybe try and wrap things up. The flags go up against Barnet though. 3 minutes are up. There'll be one last chance for Woking to get the ball forwards. So will Jääskeläinen be looking, I imagine, for any Effiong with his arms spread out wide. This is a last chance saloon for Woking. Ball up towards Okoli, wins the flick on, can't reach Effiong. Sliced away by Cropper. Still time is going on here at the Laythwaite Community Stadium. So another chance of Woking to get the ball into the box. A throw on the left hand side for Jamie Andrews to take. Let's see if this can cause carnage. Andrews throws it in, and Effiong can't flick it on, headed away, and there goes the full-time whistle, and Barnet just carry on their unbelievable form to stay 11 points clear at the top of the league. Reece Brown, the former Woking man, his goal separated the two sides today, and really Barnet defended superbly and didn't really give Woking a sniff. It was a tough afternoon for the Cars, kept themselves in the game. In the end, didn't really create much. It was a very professional win by Barnet. Seeing Woking, that's now a few games, and 4 games in the league without a win. A little bit of concern for Neil Larley, but still not in a bad position. 5 points above the drop zone. Again, dropping down to 18th today. But John, what are your thoughts on the match?
Well, just as you said, it was a very professional performance from Barnet from beginning to end. You know, Woking just never managed to lay a glove on them really all afternoon. They had one decent opportunity in the second half, but Walker fluffed his lines, and thereafter, you know, Owen Evans in the Barnet goal had a very, very comfortable afternoon. You've got to give Barnet credit. They managed the game superbly. They worked hard. They were efficient. They didn't let Woking play, and they thoroughly deserved their win.
Yeah, most certainly. And again, Barnet just showing why they are the best team in the league. As for Woking, they move on to Willstow next week, which is a big game. Again, a win for Woking. They'll go 8 points clear. Wealdstone who occupy that last relegation spot. So that's a massive one for the Cards next week. Again, the Woking players just going across towards the fans, giving them a clap. But yeah, disappointing day for Woking. But Barnet, their fantastic run just keeps on going. It's finished at Layford Community Stadium. Woking 0, Barnet 1.